I'm Ellie La Liberté. Why hundreds of childcare activists came out to the Capitol today and what they're asking at the state legislature.
Plus, a local dog breeder accused of abusing animals files a lawsuit against an animal rights group. We have details on the accusations.
The nation's health secretary labels autism as an epidemic. I'll talk to people dealing with the disorder here in Madison about how that kind of rhetoric makes them feel.
And we welcome you to News 3 Now at 6. Good evening. Thanks for joining us. I'm Eric Franke.
And I'm Sarah Carlson.
We begin with breaking news on a death investigation in the village of Blue Mounds. Dane County Sheriff's Office sharing more information on the investigation, including the identity of the woman who died.
The Dane County Medical Examiner says 54-year-old Heather Schoonover was found with life-threatening injuries Monday morning. Life-saving efforts were unsuccessful. Now, during this time, a 31-year-old woman left the scene in a vehicle before crashing on Blue Rock Road and State Highway 78. That woman is considered a person of interest in the investigation and remains in the hospital with injuries from the crash. Details surrounding Schoonover's death are still under investigation.
And happening now, the man accused of abducting a pregnant Beaver Dam teenager is being extradited to Wisconsin. Gary Day faces charges of child abduction and child enticement. Investigators say Day took Sophia Franklin from her home back in February. On April 3rd, the two were spotted at a truck stop in Nebraska and Day was arrested. Now, to expedite Day's return to Wisconsin, the Sarpy County, Nebraska's Attorney's Office dismissed the local misdemeanor charges and an Arkansas extradition complaint. So Franklin is now back with her family. Costs, accessibility, and quality. Those are the challenges parents face while trying to get their kids into childcare.
And it's what drove hundreds out to the state capitol today, demanding Wisconsin pay attention and pay up. Our Ellie La Liberté introduces us to one parent who's faced those childcare challenges firsthand.
Kids first, families first, invest in childcare now.
It's a message ringing out on the state capitol steps on Wednesday afternoon. That holds especially true for Claire Lindstrom, a mom who knows just how expensive childcare can be.
My family with only one child in childcare is 14% of our family budget.
It's why she joined nearly 350 others.
It's like if we're struggling with this, I was thinking about the single parents and those other people out there that are not as privileged as I am.
Asking the state legislature to invest $480 million into the childcare industry.
Even if you find a center that's cheaper, I guarantee you they have a wait list and you're not going to be able to get in for months, if not years, to that center.
It's a problem the Wisconsin Early Childhood and Head Start associations say has gotten worse. Over the past decade, Dane County has lost between 20 and 30% of childcare programs. Rock County has lost between 30 and 40%. Ruth Schmidt, the executive director of the WECA, says the federal pandemic relief funds used to help prop up the industry will run out later this year. So if the childcare industry doesn't see support from the state, she says families and employees across Wisconsin will feel it.
And without it, we're going to see high rates of closures of childcare programs. We're going to see tuition go through the roof. We're going to see teachers lose their jobs in childcare because they simply have no money left to pay them.
Schmidt also says Wisconsin still needs about 4,000 early educators to meet growing demands, which is why Claire says
It's such a critical moment right now.
Reporting at the state capitol, Ellie La Liberté, News 3 Now.
Thank you, Ellie. Democratic Governor Tony Evers has showed support for investing in childcare, but the challenge will be getting the hundreds of millions of dollars that Evers is proposing through the Republican-controlled state legislature.
Embattled beagle breeder Ridgeland Farms is suing a local group trying to stop its practices. In a complaint dated April 4th, the breeder accuses Dane for Dogs, its founders and a former Ridgeland employee, of interfering with its contractual relationships with its customers and intentional efforts to, quote, destroy Ridgeland Farms business. Ridgeland Farms says it's lost money due to Dane for Dogs' efforts and is seeking unspecified damages.
So I think this lawsuit is absolutely bizarre. You can read the lawsuit and it's just one allegation after another in which they say that Dane for Dogs has used the administrative and judicial process. They've petitioned the government, asking the government to take action. And that's absolutely covered by the First Amendment. So I think it's very, very strange that that's what they're going after Dane for Dogs for.
And News 3 Now reached out to Ridgeland to get a response. They released a statement to us that reads, in part, quote, the suggestion that we are suing over protected First Amendment activity is absurd. The law does not protect Dane for Dogs' conduct that is the subject of the complaint, and it cannot act with impunity when it violates the legal rights of another, end quote. Now, News 3 Now's Kyle Pozorski has been covering this story for months now. You can find his full investigative piece at channel3000.com and receive any and all updates directly to your phone with the free Channel 3000 mobile app.
And turning to weather now, clouds moving in tonight, maybe some rain as well. Here's meteorologist Jacob Montesano with a look at the first warn forecast. How is it out there now?
Well, right now we're definitely seeing the temperatures get a little chilly, but for the most part, excuse me, it has been a very nice day. We've seen warmer temperatures, plenty of sunshine. But the big thing compared to yesterday is less wind. Right now, 54 in Madison, near 60 further west, but it is colder closer to Lake Michigan, only 40 in Milwaukee. Also is a bit breezier out there as well. And taking a look at the current wind speeds, this time yesterday, they were up near 20 to 25 miles per hour. Right now, much of the area below 10 miles per hour. So definitely much improved in the wind department. But unfortunately, the winds are going to pick up a little bit overnight into tomorrow. And as we take a look at the overnight lows, we'll see lows around 40 with partly cloudy to mostly cloudy skies. Maybe at points we'll see clear skies, but lows will be around 40 for Madison, a little bit milder further southwest as we'll see some more cloud cover. Lows may only be in the middle to upper 40s. And then as we look at tomorrow, it is going to be dry for much of the day with highs in the 60s. But we are going to see some windier conditions, and we do have a good chance of rain overnight with the possibility of severe weather. And the severe weather risk will continue into Friday, where we have an alert day in the forecast, mainly for areas east and southeast of Madison. And right now the hazards that we're expecting are large hail and strong winds. I'll talk through the forecast on this, though, coming up a little bit later.
Jacob, thank you. A fire in Middleton leaves a home severely damaged. Several fire departments were called to the scene just after 3 this afternoon to put the fire out. Happened on High Road between Keneal Trail and Spring Hill Drive. That section is currently closed off to traffic. No word on a cause. We'll update you on the story as more information is made available.
A man is dead after crashing his vehicle in Janesville last night. The Rock County Sheriff's Office says the crash was reported around 11 p.m. on Newville Road near Russell Road. An investigation found that a vehicle left the road, hit a tree, and overturned. A 30-year-old man was pronounced dead at the scene, and another man was taken to a hospital with injuries. And coming up next on News 3 Now at 6, the CDC releases a new report on rising autism rates.
When we come back, we meet a member of the autism community. Their concerns over recent comments from Health Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. on that report. Stay with us.
You're watching News 3 Now at 6. Moving forward.
Welcome back, everyone. With more public awareness about autism in recent years, more families are seeking evaluation and diagnosis. Autism is a developmental disability caused by differences in the brain.
Some with autism here in Madison tell our Armand Rahman Health Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr.'s recent comments about the numbers could set perception of their condition back.
Autism rates have grown in the United States. According to the CDC, 1 in 31 kids are estimated to have it now. Health experts say they are recognizing the signs of autism more, leading to more diagnoses. But Health Secretary Robert Kennedy Jr. still made this promise.
By September, we will know what has caused the autism epidemic, and we'll be able to eliminate those exposures.
I think I actually agree with Mr. Kennedy Jr. that there is an epidemic, but I don't think it is an autism epidemic. I think it's actually an understanding autism epidemic.
Nate Chappell says that way of thinking leaves out the humans behind the numbers, like himself. Doctors diagnosed him about a year ago.
It's been really important for me to find out and figure out who I am and how I work. I want to get across that, autistic people have a lot to offer, but I feel like I shouldn't have to.
He definitely has no problem explaining what he has to offer.
Nate Chappell, hero, host, friend.
He's a comedian and the host of Several Questions, a live show that's also streamed from the Gamma Ray Bar in Madison.
Basically, we found a machine in the woods called the Questionator 5000.
I like to say that the show is autistic coded, but it's mostly just because I'm autistic and I made it.
Nate hopes what comes out of Kennedy's rhetoric is recognition.
The ways that autism affects me on a day-to-day basis so that it makes communication difficult because our styles of communication tend to be a little more direct and literal.
But thinking about it like a problem that needs fixing
is very damaging, not only as a message, but also how our science is going to go forward to understand this more and more.
He says Several Questions has become the way he connects with people.
It is really about unconventional communication and exploring our different brains.
He hopes the conversation shifts.
I hope we stop talking about autism like a problem and a disease and start talking about it as a way to be.
Reporting in Madison, Armand Rahman, News 3 Now.
Nate has a show this Monday at the Gamma Ray Bar. You can find tickets online.
And still ahead, Packers correspondent Jason Wilde stops by to talk about the NFL draft in Green Bay.
Fun at the Memorial Union Terrace. I'm Tanasia Shaw covering these iconic chairs and the party that's happening this Friday.
Well, we hope the weather does its part on Friday. We could see some rain later in the week and tomorrow as well. Jacob's back with how much we can expect after the break. Season is here. Thousands of chairs are now back at the Memorial Union.
Wish we could be there. They're ready to set up for the countless events that take place along Lake Mendota. Our Tanisha Shaw is live at the Memorial Union. Tanisha, what can we look forward to?
Hi, Eric and Sarah. Y'all said, did you want to be out here with me? Come on, just grab a chair. There's plenty out here, around 2,000 to be exact. Let's take a look at all these people out here by Lake Mendota. Look at Lake Mendota, just beautiful. Let me tell you, during the 5 p.m. newscast, I was out here. It was perfect weather. Now you see I have the coat back on because it's a little chilly, but it's still a beautiful day. And there's so much to celebrate starting Friday. I'm here with Madeline Carr from Wisconsin Union here at the Memorial Union Terrace. She's going to tell us all about what's happening now. It's a lot of people out here. It's a little bit less than the past hour, but is this a typical turnout for when the chairs are out?
Absolutely. People get very excited for when these chairs return. We found that even on the years where we've had rain on this amazing day, people will shake the rain off, squeegee it off the table, and still pull up a chair for whatever activities and entertainment they'd like to enjoy.
Okay, and then Madeline, it's a party Friday. First, am I invited? Second, thank you. And second, what's happening Friday? What's the ins and outs?
Yeah, so from 3 to 6 p.m. right here on the terrace, rain or shine, we will be having everything from a Bucky appearance from 4 to 5 p.m. We'll have fish fry starting at 4 p.m., taste testing of our beverages starting at 5, a band performance at 4:30, and a DJ that's playing music all throughout. So really just a lot of fun to celebrate these amazing chairs in the summer that we're all looking forward to.
And we are looking forward to that summer. Tell me, what's the other events that will take place right here at the Memorial Union Terrace?
So we will be making a full announcement in the coming weeks, but you can look forward to Monday night film screenings right out here on the terrace, live performances Wednesday through Saturday, outdoor equipment rentals and outdoor events, art events every week, not to mention the amazing dining options and sunsets and all the other memories for a lifetime you can make right here.
All right, Madeline, thank you so much for informing all of us. Sarah, Eric, I have a chair waiting for you, so I'm going to send it back to you, and I'm going to wait for you out here.
Very tempting. That is the place to be,
Exactly.
Especially as this weather finally warms up. Tanisha, thank you.
We have chances for storms tomorrow. Jacob, what can we expect to see and when? Let's hopefully not too much on Friday.
Unfortunately, we do have that severe weather risk for Friday, but the good news is that tomorrow the storms will be pretty late in the day, if not completely after sunset. But the alert day is for Friday afternoon, mainly for areas east and southeast of Madison. The most likely hazards will be large hail and strong winds. Very unlikely we'll see an isolated tornado, but can't completely rule it out. It's mostly the hail and winds that we are concerned with. But Thursday night, there also is a severe weather risk. We don't have an alert day in the forecast for this, but a marginal risk for Madison and areas to the west. Notice the slight risk further west of our area. And looking at Friday, there's that slight risk for areas east and southeast of Madison. Marginal risk just to the north and west of that. So let me take you through the timing of all this rainfall. Again, for your Thursday, it's going to be cloudy, but we're not going to see a lot of rain during the day. Maybe a few isolated showers and pop-up storms, but the majority of the precipitation will move in a little bit after sunset. Looking off to the west, it will start to move in overnight and continue across our area into the very early morning hours on Friday. Heavy rain is expected, possibly some severe weather as well. But the good news is that this first round of storms will clear out by sunrise Friday, where we are going to get a little bit of a break from the rainfall before we see more showers and storms develop for Friday afternoon. And for the Friday afternoon time frame, the most likely chance for those storms will be for areas east and southeast of Madison, where the greatest risk of severe weather will also occur. This is especially going to be the case for Friday afternoon, but we could see some isolated showers and storms for the evening. But later in the night Friday, it looks to clear out of the area, and Saturday does look to be dry. So looking at the most likely hazards, I keep mentioning wind and hail are the most likely hazards. Did include a very minor chance of an isolated tornado, but again, we're not too concerned with the tornado risk. Now, looking a bit further in the forecast, like I mentioned, Saturday will be dry, but that's not going to be the case for Easter Sunday. Looking at the rainfall forecast for your Sunday, looks like we're going to see rain early and often. Now, we're not expecting thunderstorms or severe weather, but we could be seeing rain for much of the day, especially in the afternoon and evening. So this is very likely going to impact any outdoor plans you may have. In fact, it may be a complete washout by the time we get to the evening if the forecast continues to hold with what it looks like right now. So that is some unfortunate news for the Easter Sunday. But the good news is that after that rain clears out, should clear out sometime by Monday afternoon. We are looking pretty nice for the rest of the week. A few small chances of precipitation, but temperatures will be in the 60s, and overall low temperatures are only going to drop into the 40s, which is very common for this time of the year. And what's nice is that we're going to see it on a consistent basis. So plenty of rain is expected over the next 5 days. Very mild with the rainfall for tomorrow and Friday, dropping a little bit for the weekend and early next week before rising back up for the middle of next week.
All right, thank you, Jacob. It looks like spring has arrived. And we are a little more than a week away from the NFL draft up in Green Bay. Preparations for the big event are well underway, and lawmakers and others are looking to make sure everything runs smoothly. Representatives David Steffen and Ben Franklin are proposing a budget bill that would give $1.25 million to draft day security. The money would go to area first responders, including Ashwaubenon Public Safety, the Brown County Sheriff's Office, the Green Bay Metro Fire Department, and the Green Bay Police Department. Separately, Democratic Governor Tony Evers included $1 million for the city of Green Bay in his state budget proposal.
And while the city of Green Bay gets things set up for the draft, the Packers are also hard at work figuring out who they might want to pick next week. And right now, the team hosting several players that they're interested in. And earlier today on Live at 4, I asked News 3 Now's Packers correspondent Jason Wilde who the green and gold may consider taking in the first round.
The place that you really want to look is who are the Packers bringing in for visits. They brought in the top 3 ranked wide receivers, including Tetaroa McMillan out of Arizona recently. That signals that they could go wide receiver with their first pick. They brought in a lot of defensive players as well. But that is really the tip that you might be able to take from what they do in terms of having visits. That might lead to a first-round pick next Thursday.
And don't forget, News 3 Now will be talking NFL draft in Wisconsin all this week and next. In addition to Jason, I'll be joined by Sports Director Zach Hanley and Andrew Banstra for our coverage. They'll have the sights, sounds, and strategy leading up to next week's first-round pick. Zach?
And coming up in sports, the Badgers are back at the Fieldhouse. Why tonight's spring match is one this group will remember for a while. That's next on News 3 Now. After a trip to Hawaii for 2 matches, Wisconsin volleyball is back home to wrap up their spring season with 2 matches at the Fieldhouse. And tonight is the first opportunity to see Kelly Sheffield's new look squad when they take on in-state rival Marquette. The better news, their spring match will be shown on the Big Ten Network, something for this group that's still kind of hard to wrap their heads around.
On TV in a spring game, you don't hear that a lot, so just having that out there so everyone around the world can watch, it's going to be amazing.
It's so cool that they're starting to, just really showcase how awesome women's volleyball is. Yes, it's a spring game, but, it's going to be good competition. We're a really new team this year, so I'm excited for Badger fans to be able to, if they can't make it into the Fieldhouse, be able to watch us.
A rubber match between the Brewers and Tigers. 105-year-old Ed McLavick threw out the first pitch today, and it was a strike from the World War II veteran, and that got Christian Yelich fired up. Crew already up 1-0 in the third, and Yelich goes yard for the 4th time this season to double that lead. Then a couple batters later, it's Rhys Hoskins, and he says, whatever you can do, I can do better. That's homers in back-to-back games for Hoskins. Brewers go on to win 5-1 the final. And Wisconsin softball back at Goodman Diamond hosting NDSU in a doubleheader, and Olivia Bark got the Badgers on the board in game 1. Third inning, she drops one down the first base line to make it 1-0 UW. Then later in the inning, it's the hometown kid, Hillary Blomberg, gonna smack one through the infield to plate another run. Badgers win game 1 8-0 the final. They're currently playing game 2.
All right, we'll get an update on that later. Zach, thank you. Coming up tonight on News 3 Now at 10, UW faculty members discuss how federal administrative changes are affecting day-to-day life on campus. We bring their responses to questions about funding, tariffs, the status of international students, and much more. Again, that's tonight. News 3 Now at 10.
And Jacob, we have a final look at the forecast. We can't stop this rain from coming.
Yeah, unfortunately, we are expecting a few chances of rainfall over the next 5 days. Good news is that most of tomorrow should be dry, with the rain moving in later. May actually move in after sunset with the better chance of rain overnight. And then for Friday, we are expecting some scattered showers and storms, especially during the afternoon. Areas further northwest may actually miss out on the rain Friday, though, so it won't cover the entire region. And then we're going to cool down for the weekend. Sunday looks like a complete washout, unfortunately, especially by the evening. And unfortunately, because obviously it is Easter, so a lot of people may have outdoor plans. Probably going to impact that significantly. But the good news is that once the rain clears out by Monday, still going to be cool Monday, but then we'll see warmer temperatures for the rest of next week with 60s and consistent 60s for the rest of the forecast.
Looks beautiful.
Yeah. Might need the indoor Easter egg hunt.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Jacob, thank you. Thanks for joining us for News 3 Now at 6.
See you back here at 10.